What's up with Flacco's weight loss journey?
But I wouldn't say I'm confident that he's getting smaller.
Damn, why are they are on here bashing Flacco? Flacco, what you do to them? All right, guys, it's obvious that there's some type of tension between Adam 22 and Flacco. Adam 22 got on no jumper and just completely let Flacco have it. And it is diabolical, some of the stuff that he was saying.
Doing bad, low quality, watered down content with someone. Pilot episode with Flacco and Moose Man. The idea being that maybe there's a chance that No Jumper could have another weekly show that would feature me, Flacco, Moose Man, and I don't know, maybe we build out some more people on the cast from there. This is just an idea. I've been toying with it. I figured, why not? We'll do Wednesday. We'll do an episode. We'll see how it goes. It's been in the calendar for weeks now because it was hard for us to find a date that would work. Today, I message in the group chat with them, and I say, yo, so are y'all good for 4 p.m. tomorrow? Flacco, forget exactly what he said, but it's clear that he was going to be out of town, that he had not written this down. He had not put it in his calendar at all, not taking podcasting seriously. And to his credit, Moose Man said that he had a thing with the apartment he's trying to get or whatever. He wasn't going to be able to do it either. So both of them, despite it being in the calendar, both of them not planning on showing up and did not mention it in any way to me, which personally, that shows a lack of professionalism. I'm going to be totally real.
Damn.
Then in addition to that, Flacco was telling us about this terrible deal that he had on the table where basically he was being offered money to start a podcast. They sent him the contract. It was all up. They were trying to take a percentage of his YouTube money, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if I'm saying too much, Flacco. He takes this deal that is not so beneficial, and he ends up giving it to T-Rail. And then he gets a large percentage of the money, and that makes sense because realistically, T-Rail ain't got shit going on. So anybody trying to give him any money, he's just, any dollar he can get his hands on, he's excited. So, but then that also makes me feel like by Flacco doing a weekly podcast with T-Rail, he's watering down his value because he's showing that he's willing to sit with D-listers on a weekly basis just to help try to get a relatively
What's a D-lister? I don't know what a D-lister is.
small amount of money. So to the people that I kind of hyped up the idea of Flacco and me doing a weekly podcast,
I mean, you can't be mad at him. At the man, he trying to make his money. He trying to make some money. You know what I'm saying? He probably ain't got to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
multiple strikes against him. Number one, ghosting on the episode and not telling me in advance. Number two, doing bad, low-quality, watered-down content with someone who realistically is not a professional podcaster. So I just want to let the world know, I thought that this might have some motion, some momentum.
Damn, why is he talking down on him? Why is he, what did he has against dude? Why is he so, he talking watered-down content and...
I don't think Flacco, I don't really see it working out, especially because he's out of town. He would have to be flying in for it. Maybe the Adam and Moose thing could still have some legs, but we would have to find at least one, maybe two more characters in order to be able to make that a thing.
When you say it's not going to work, is that referring to just this specific show with Flacco, or just is more of a greater issue you have with Flacco in general?
Yeah,
well,
that's what it seems like. It seems like it's a bigger issue because something small like that, you're doing all that because he's doing a podcast with somebody that seems like one that seems like some type of jealousy. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, no, it's really just that. I would say that those are the two things that I consider kind of strikes against the idea of doing consistent weekly content with Flacco. Is that number one, I feel like by him doing a podcast with T-Rail, he's kind of watering himself down. And also the views are just looking terrible on that. Nobody wants to see Flacco sitting down with T-Rail.
Hey,
I mean, sometimes you gotta build it up. You know what I'm saying? No jumper just didn't start up here. You know what I'm saying?
Me and Moose, on the other hand, that could have some value, but you can't be sprinkling yourself all over the place and doing content.
He said not Flacco and Moose, but you and Moose. That'll
Content with somebody who has nothing going on. That's just not like, if you're doing that and then you're also doing with me, I'm looking at it like, okay, what makes our platform special when you're doing content with a No Jumper reaction channel on a week-to-week basis? Anyway, thoughts?
It seemed like Flacco been getting to a bag and shit. He just moving different.
Man, I was just about to say the same thing. Man.
He could finally able to get a girlfriend now. He got a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, for real. He feeling himself and he just, you know what I'm saying?
I do think that, like, the way I see Flacco is that he is just not, I don't think he's capable of really, like, focusing on anything outside of his own YouTube channel. And it's kind of been that way since I met him, realistically. Like, that's always been his focus. Everything else we tried to get him to do, it really just kind of always felt like it was a bit of an afterthought in comparison to him just grinding on his channel. And I respect that and I appreciate that. I don't really want to get in the way of that.
Can't be mad
First
at
thing
that.
first, you're supposed to handle your business first, though. But shit, yeah, I think it's exactly what I'm saying. I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was about to ask you, before he said that, I was about to ask you, do you think Flacco is not necessarily bigger than No Jumper, in, but he's too big for No Jumper?
Outgrown it.
He feel like he transcended.
I think that there is a world in which Flacco could be focused on doing a weekly piece of content on No Jumper. I don't think that, like, what he does with his own channel is so time consuming that he couldn't also do that. Mm-hmm. But as long as he's living out of state, that's for sure going to really limit it. You know, most people don't want to fly from friggin' North Dakota or whatever to California on a weekly basis.
I know this isn't 100%, but what's up with Flacco's weight loss journey? Because I'm not confused about that too. Is he actually losing weight? Like,
that shit backfired, bro.
You cold, bro.
What do you mean?
I don't think he's gotten bigger, but I wouldn't say I'm confident that he's getting smaller.
Damn, why are they on here bashing Flacco? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why are they on here? Flacco, what you do to them? What did you do, Flacco? They ate your guts. They start, oh my God, they didn't got off topic. They didn't went off the topic of you doing a podcast. Now they talking about your personal life. What the hell?
Look, if this was like, hey, Lush One went to rehab because he was, you
came back and you're still
everybody laughed
doing
about
bowls.
me being yeah, exactly. Then it's like, and you see me and I'm like, my cheekbones are more extended and I'm skinnier.
I mean, yeah, I don't
Looking
know.
like a scream ass.
Well, I will say that, like, I had an aunt back in the day who got the stomach stapling surgery, and she just ate through it. She just kept eating, and I think her stomach kind of just ended up going back to the normal size. And that's very much like a risk when you get that surgery, is that if you really just keep eating, it's just not going to hold, and your stomach's going to kind of like expand again, and you just won't lose weight. I'm not saying that's what happened with him, but it's definitely a possibility.
It's just not, I guess maybe it's more of an involved procedure than.
Well, to be fair though, too, I mean, I feel like he could lose a lot of weight and maybe we wouldn't be able to tell because he was so, like, if he's lost 50 pounds, that's a ton of weight, but it's not like that much of the overall weight that he probably was like a good 350 before, right?
What is he now?
I don't know, but if I'm saying if he went from 350 to 300, he's still going to look pretty fat.
It might be difficult to tell, because my thing is this.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not really big into like watching stuff that just overly bashes people. That's what it's getting to for me. I'm not really a fan of that. I thought, you know what I'm saying, they was gonna be talking about like his new podcast and shit like that. So no, I got roommates, y'all. Don't mind the background, okay? What I was saying was, it's just overdoing it. I don't know. How do y'all feel about the situation? Y'all think Adam 22? I almost said Adam Sandler. What the fuck? Adam Sandler is a great actor, but that's besides the point. Do y'all think that Adam 22 is for some reason jealous of Flacco, that he's not doing a podcast or segment with him anymore? I don't know, like, if there's any beef. If y'all know, that if there's any beef between them two, comment down below. Let me know. I'm trying to figure out.
My God.